Hi guys, so for today's Freeform Friday, I was kind of inspired this morning. I released a video for Tonic, which could have been the Freeform Friday video. I didn't know they were going to release that specific set on a Friday, but anyway, because it was kind of just go with it like I do on Freeform Friday, or at least try to, or you know, I like try to create something different. So I'm going to use the Heartfelt Creations kit that I just picked up from HSN. So any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links for those items, and which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. I'm going to take a minute to open these windows because it kind of drives me. There's so much shadow just the last few days, and people always ask, like, as the season go and the year goes by, like the lighting in here changes tremendously. So anyway, so I'll get those papers in just a minute, but I'll be using the Candy Cane Cottage, okay? Well, I'll just show you real quick. It looks something like this. And you guys are so sweet. A lot of people, some people are like, oh, I can't believe you don't buy from Heartfelt Creations, or, oh, you never bought it. No, that's not what I was saying. I've never bought it on their website. I've always bought through Heartfelt Creations or from them for at least, I would say 11 years, 10 years. I'm trying to think, the first expo I went to was when I still lived in Fresno, and that was a long time ago, at least a decade ago. So I don't know how old the company is, but I'm assuming I got there right towards the beginning. That's when they still use Spellbinder's dies with her stamps. And anyway, I'm very familiar with the company. I just hadn't bought any online, and now they're HSN. I had mentioned something about this coming in this little bag, and people were saying, oh, whenever they do a collection, if you buy like the whole collection, it comes in a bag like this. So pretty cool. And having said that, I did order the other two collections they have on HSN. So this is the Candy Cane Cottage. I picked up the cherry blossom, I guess, or something like that. Tweet blossom, I don't know what they call it. And then the other set is the tulip. They are kind of hard to see there on HSN. They don't have a very good description. I think when I first saw some of these papers, they had better pictures. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so for sure I'm going to use a Candy Cane Cottage stamp. I think I'm going to cut it out with the die. I think, and then I want a little character to go along with that. Oh, what I wanted to say about this die when I showed it to you guys, and I was like, oh, I mean, it's kind of expensive when it's by itself. It's 3 dies. I thought it was just the one. I don't know. I wasn't reading it. I just saw the one die there. But it's 3 dies. So you can do the inlay, you can cut out that circle, you can do all of them together or layer it up, however, and then this edge one. And the edge one does cut out the whole thing, right? If you were to layer it across, like, let's say you make a circle or something, or just off of here, it is going to cut that whole edge out. It's not like an inlay, but does that make sense, like this? So pretty cool. I did not know that. So let me put this back in here, and I think, what's going on here? Oh, okay, I was just looking at the characters. We'll pull out one of these little characters to use with the house, I think. Yeah, okay. But to get started, I'm gonna make a background. So I pulled out some paper already. I want to show, this is the thick stamping card that I used to use from Crafter's Companion. It doesn't have a label anymore, but it's thicker. It's like 300 GSM. I rather use this as a card base, maybe for coloring, but now my favorite is their like smooth cardstock for coloring. But I do want something thick like this for this background, so I'm just gonna take this. And you know what? How big is that little mouse? I never noticed. I'm assuming it's like A2 size. Let's see. It's getting hot in here for some reason. Yeah, let's see here. Hold on. Almost 5 inches tall. So that's good. So yeah, it's gonna take up a lot of the front. Okay. So I'm gonna cut this paper down. Am I already dropping things? My goodness. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4, just in case I want to do another little matting and layering on top of that. So 4 by 5 1/4. And some people like to junk up their stuff and then trim it down. So however you like to do it, I like to, pretty much it seems like I always do this first and then I trim it down. Trim it down first, then go on top of that. So I did notice actually that Die Impress has their stamping mat back, and I love the stamping mat. And look at this one. Perfect pristine one. I think Claudia sent it to me, and I'm starting to get junk on it, and I don't wash it off, so then it stains, you know, after a while. It's a silicone stamping mat. This is the one that I well love. As you can see, it's like completely destroyed. And so the other one I try to use it only when I do stamping, so it looks nice when I bring it out, but oh well. I'm gonna make a background with some Salty Ocean Distress ink, maybe hit it with a little bit of water, and then I also want to use some glue and glitter, and we'll see how that goes. Sorry, I was just gonna say I'm gonna use a stencil. It's actually from the kit that Diamond Press sent me from the, I always forget, the ephemera one's called Shine Bright, or the Happy kit. But anyway, the card kit that we just tried out yesterday. I guess it depends on when you're watching this. So that'll be in there. And don't forget, you still have 20% off until August 2nd. So I'll have the information in the description box too. So I'm just going to take some Salty Ocean just to make a background. I was going to stamp my image right on this and then just go from there. Like, that's fine, you know. Make it a background. But, like, make the whole image and everything in color on here. I just changed my mind because I wanted to do a little bit more with this background. So that's all I want to do. Just something like that. I don't even know if I'm going to play with water. That's weird. Like there must be something, a fiber or something I got in there. I don't know. Okay. Sometimes what I do is I'll flick this with water, like I said, but I guess I'll do it since this little spray bottle I have is too fine. And I have the Tim Holtz ones, and I have ones from Spectrum Noir, and I have Nouveau ones, and I still go back to that one and just flick it for some reason. I should probably pull some of the other ones out. But I like the big drops like that. Kind of looks like snow. Kind of fun. I'm going to let this dry a little bit. Actually, I'm going to hit it with the heat tool because the next thing I'm going to do is use a stencil with glue, with Mod Podge, because that's fun, and some glitter. And I was looking for like yellow glitter, and apparently I have glitter. I just don't want to go look for it. So this is the closest thing I found was the falling snow, and I was considering anyway the yellow might look green on the blue, so we'll just use this one. Or a white glitter would be nice because it'll be more opaque, or even like that. Oh, that's snow. Well, see, these are stars. I don't want the snow, but that's fake snow I just got from Crafter's Companion would be good. Anyway, I'm going to hit this with a heat tool just to dry it a little better, because it is, you know, it gets pretty wet. And I'll worry about it. I didn't spend too much drying it, so if something happens, it's totally my fault. So what I'm going to do is hit it with an embossing buddy, which I normally forget to do. Because I'm going to put glitter on here, and actually I don't even care if the glitter sticks in weird spots, but that's okay. Alright, so we have that. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this thing I used a while back, and it has glitter on it still, but you know what? That's okay. Doesn't bother me none. Where's my stencil? I just had it. Here it is. I was like, oh, come on. Okay, I'm just going to hold it with my hand. So again, this came from that set that I recently tried out for Diamond Press and Little Stars. And I'm just going to use, ooh, that was too much. Mod Podge. This is actually from the Dollar Tree. And so I'm just going to take it, and I'm patting, I don't know if you see I'm patting. I don't want it too juicy, but at the same time I need it to go through the stencil, so I am going to take this and just pounce, 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 pounce. And whatever happens, happens. I'm not looking for perfection here. And you can stick whatever you want to this, because it's basically like a glue. I mean, it is glue, right? And I know that little house is going to be up on here a lot, so I'm not too concerned. This bottom area, but I think that's good. Take that off. And I'm going to pour this on here, and I'm going to move this somewhere else. I need to go wash this like right away, but I'm going to put it there for now. Take this, I'm just going to pop it on top of a clean piece of paper. I can kind of see what happened there, like with the Mod Podge. And I'm going to take my glitter. I'm kind of sad Christmas in July is ending, but that doesn't mean anything because I'll just keep doing stuff. And I know a lot of times people obviously want to get started because otherwise, where does the time go, right? It's Christmas time and you're like, I didn't make my cards, so I don't mind playing with this stuff more than I need to. I'm going to let some of that go this way. I think that's it, because in that middle section I didn't really cover it down here because I knew it wasn't going to show up anyway. So again, I let it dry just a little bit longer, then I'll give it a good smack on the back just to get rid of the excess. But look at that. So cute. It's little star shapes. I might come in with a stencil over here because there wasn't, I missed whatever might be in that corner. I'll probably add like a star just to add a little more here. But that's it, guys. I'll be back. Okay, so of course I turned this on and I wasn't really quite sure what I'm going to do next. Hold on. I do want to stamp this, so we're going to get this out. And... oh, that's cute. So there must be obviously some way to hold these things. So these aren't, I mean, they're new to HSN. I think a lot of this lineup, Heartfelt Creations already had. But, you know, new to me. So I'm going to take this out. I want to stamp this guy. I guess I'll use this paper. This is the same thick paper that I had just said I don't use much anymore. But I'm going to color these in with the oil pastels from my Mega Marker Kit from Diamond Press. So we're going to do that. You know, I know you guys watch these things like contemporarily, like today's Friday, I'm making the video on Friday, I'm going to upload it on Friday. And Tonic had just come out with that patterns and print stamp set, and I didn't know at the time because they, you know, sometimes they do promotions and I don't know, they just send me the items, I make my content and that's it. They are including a free stamp set, which I didn't know, so now I'm letting you guys know. It's a birthday stamp set that goes along with that stamp set if you pick it up, the Stampin' Dies. So I am still using that thicker mixed media paper, which is probably good because I'm going to use kind of water, obviously, with the oil pastels. Not kind of water. I'm going to use water. And then I want to pick a little character to go on here. I just feel like it's going to take up a lot of the front of that thing. So I'm like, do I want... that little guy's ice skating. I feel like it needs to be like this guy. You know, somebody who's just kind of chilling. The little guy singing is very cute, though. Okay, let's do the little guy singing. In front of their little house. Their friend's house. Ooh, this nail, I can see it kind of is cracking down here and over here, like the stress fracture, which is not good. And right now I just shoved it under there. I'm trying to be very careful with it, which it doesn't really happen for me. Okay. Because what happens is I have other things I gotta do, like gardening and those kind of things, so it's like, how much care am I gonna take? So I have this extra piece too, but at the same time I'm gonna cut into this anyway, so I might as well just do it over here. I think I'm gonna use a stamping tool just in case, because this is kind of a bigger die, or stamp. I have to find it. I'll be right back. You guys, I am so silly. Sorry, I'm moving my chair. What happens is I put this in a place where I would see it easier, and then I forget about that because I usually keep everything under my desk, and now I have it over here to the side and I forgot. So now I'm like, where is it? And then I find it. One thing I wanted to say, I know a lot of people don't have a stamping tool yet, or you're gonna pick one up, or how did I get this ink on here? Ew. This one in particular is not sold anymore by We Are Memory Keepers, and that has to do a whole lot with Misty and being litigious and all that. So I have this because it's super old. I have the first iteration. This is actually the one where you can switch out these pieces and you can put different things in here, which is like a clipboard and other stuff, but I have both of them. And since I couldn't find this one the other day, if you guys recall, I was using this one, which is their newer one. And it grew on me. It's not too bad. It's just like, I mean, it does have some give. Like, let's say you come to stamp again and you're just a little bit off from before. You're going to get a little shadowing because you're just a little... It doesn't make it so that it's like you can only stamp one way, you know what I'm saying? So there is a little give there, and it will make it so that if you stamp, you might stamp a little bit off. But if you're pretty careful and just kind of lay it down, it works okay. I do have the Tim Holtz one. I should probably pull that one out. I mean, I have several precision type presses, but... Now the Tim Holtz one, what I should mention is, see how this is super thick? This might not be the best option for this. You know what? I'm going to go with the other one. So the Tim Holtz one has two sides where you can stamp with a thicker stamp or a clear stamp, you know, or like a thin, you know, like the stamps we use. So I am going to use this one today after all of that. But where am I putting this? And what you want to do is make sure your paper is butted up as far up to the edge as you can with this one. And then I'm just going to pick this up. And then we're going to stamp. Yeah, so that one's nice because it does accommodate for both. I think on that one it would have squished this way too much, which is kind of weird because I've used my red rubber stamps in that precision press, the ones from Local King, so maybe they're not as fat. I don't know. That just looked like it was going to be not a good thing. And I'm going to use my VersaFine today because I know I'm using water-based things, and VersaFine you can use with watercolors and stuff like that. And also because it's nice and crisp. I love the look of VersaFine. I finally got some back at scrapbook.com. I'll have the link for you guys. For whatever reason, they didn't have it. Okay, this is scary because it is so thick. It already wants to touch the paper as I'm like laying it down. That's not good. So let's just go across here. I think that's good enough. LDRS Stampendable. I always have the link in the description box. For some of the basic things I use, the link is always in the description box. I think that's pretty good. I'm not going to stamp it again. Now, there is another die set, not another one, with this same die set and stamps. We can stamp like the door again, and we can do the window again, and there's little lights. I think I need to stamp the lights at least. I don't think I'm going to do any extra as far as the door and other things, but there are other parts. And then you can, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to play with this stuff, so it's pretty cool. It does have the different layers if you want the door just the background, or you want to, you know, put the little inlay cut out. That's kind of interesting. Very cute. I'm going to do a little more basic today just because we're doing so much else. But I am going to stamp the lights then too. So let me clean this off and I'll be right back. So this is the lights. I'm just going to stamp 2 of it. And this is kind of scary because, oh, you know, I have that smaller stamping tool, the same precision press, but the small one. But I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to stamp this twice. And then I'm going to stamp my little characters too, okay? And then the next piece here, we will color everything in. Again, I'm trying to be careful with this, just because of the way it's kind of big. Oh, adorable. Okay, I'm going to do 2 of those and get this guy stamped, and I'll be right back. I have everything stamped, and I'm going to use my oil pastels. I have them here in the Mega Marker Kit. I'm actually going to use this. I did peel off the one side. It still has the other side on the acrylic block, and that's just so I can put my colors down. I can use them as a palette. I do want to show you, I'm going to use this new Aquaflow brush pen. This is a fine water brush pen from Tonic that I picked up a while back. I just have them sitting here, but I haven't used this specific one. So I want to show you when you go to put water in, all you have to do is unscrew it and put your water in and then put it back and it should go. So very fancy. I didn't know it had this like inner cartridge. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry if the screen or the view is kind of tight. I guess I can back up a little bit, but we do want to come back in when I start coloring. Oh, I just want to show you about how much water I put in this. Let's get our project out of the way. I just left it about there. I didn't really, you know, you're going to put this back in, it's going to displace some water, so it's just about right about by the V. And then that's pretty cool because you can make your own mixes in here. Anyway, that's why it has that cartridge and everything. So just give it a squeeze until water starts coming out. And we're good to go. Alright, so that's ready to go. I do like that it's nice and fine. Again, this little die has, so you can cut the house top, the rooftop out again, like if you want to do some glittering and some other things. It has pretty much stuff for every part of it, dies. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this somewhere else because it's next to me and I'm nervous. So that's somewhere else. And so whenever I do coloring, I'm not going to show everything on here because it would just be a very long video, but we'll talk about it. So I'm going to take the brown because I want brown for my little house. And I'm just, oh, you know what? Okay, so there's a couple things. I'm just putting color down there. You can cut it off if you rather instead of like hitting it the way I was doing. Pick up your color. And again, I always start where the shadow would be and then bring it down to where there's not as much shadow. I had to give it a little squeeze. So I'll start where it's darker and then bring the color down. Now, that's one way to do it. With these oil pastels, or you can just take your pen and go right to, see how I'm dabbing it, and then just give it a squeeze as you're working with it, which is probably easier. I guess it depends what you're trying to do. So I'm going to color this whole top part in brown just like you see, and I'll be right back. Okay. So I want to say something real quick. So this is a very brown. It's like wood brown, right? It's not gingery brown. So like, let's say it is that you want to mix some colors because you want to, you know, maybe mix some brown and maybe a little bit of, I was gonna say red, maybe orange. The smallest amount. Oh, that's probably too much already. Just a little bit of that and this and mix it together. And then when you test it out, you know, just work on it until it's the color that you like if it's a little more reddish brown. Well, that's a little bit too red. But anyway, you can mix your colors. That's what you'd want to do. Oh, and I do need red. So what I was going to do is color this in different things. So like, let's say I'm going to take this red and do the little accents around the window. So this is a very fine brush, and I did that on purpose because I knew I had some small areas here. So let's say we have that. I'm going to do the same thing around the doorway. Okay, I'm going to color in red, and actually I'll color this in brown too, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I do want to mention is as you're working, when you first stamp with Versa Fine, it stays wet for a long time, so you can also just put some embossing powder, like clear embossing or black or whatever color it is that you used, and heat set it, which is really nice. Or you have to wait, because you can smear it. Like right now I had waited so long because I was, picking out my colors and doing other things, so it's fine. As far as the snow, now I'm just going to come in here. Quite a bit of water, and I just like to add a little something, just so it looks like I didn't forget it. I just didn't. It's white. So I just put a little bit of blue on the very edges. Now, we can always come back in and put some glue and some glitter, or just some glitter, or that fake snow, whatever you want to do. So I'll just do that. Just add a little color on the snow. Okay? And then everything else I'm just going to have fun. So I want this to look like gumdrops, I suppose. So I'm going to take some, like right now I have blue in my hand. Okay, I'm going to take blue. I'm going to start at the very top and maybe around the edge and then blend it in. And just do that randomly. So I'm going to put blue here since I have the blue in my hand right now. I'm just going to take it in different spots, wherever I feel like. And I'll do the same thing with red, with green, with whatever color I think I want to do. So I'm going to color in all my little gumdrops just like that. So hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. I mean, you don't have to do it the way I did it, but like I start at the top because that's where the darker color would be, right? The dark shadow. And then I went around the bottom and then just filled in the center. That's it. Alright, I'm going to do that with all different colors. I do want to mention while I'm working on the house, I'm also going to take the color and put it here. So, try to get my pen going with a little bit of water. And just dropping in some color on these guys, and then I'll do this too. Okay, so in between colors I'm wiping off on a towel here, paper towel. So I think I'm good with that little guy. And this, I just, like I said, put colors here and there. And then with these guys, they're pretty simple. They don't have a lot going on. And I didn't really want to use all of them. I wasn't thinking about doing that, but maybe I will. They're already stamped, Sorry if it's too dark. Like I said, this thing's blocking some of my light over here. So I'm going to take black, and I am going to put it down because I want to be able to control it a little bit better. I'm just going to get a little water going and see how light I need this to be. So like, let's say I pick this up and start like in this little shady area. Okay, that's good. So I have a little water on here to help me kind of already see how dark that is. That's not bad. Pretty good. Okay, so let's just pretend we're going to finish this lady up. And I'm not going too dark, but whatever you like. Okay. And do they have little black arms too? Or are they white? I should look that up. I feel like it's black. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Sorry, guys. Alright. And then, let's say her little book is a purple color, just to make it more festive. And what I mean festive, not like red and green, I just mean like pretty. Alright. So I'm kind of going in the center, and then I'll bring the color out towards the bottom here. Very watercolory looking. Like I said, whatever purple, I should just use it now while my brush is in purple, but otherwise I squeeze it, let that kind of come out. And then I go to the next color. Let's do a little orange beak. And then again with the white areas, I'll take a little bit of blue and I will accent wherever it would be like white. She should have a little red tongue actually. Let's put a little black in there. And I'll probably come back with the red and put it on her tongue again. And since I have this ready to go, I'll just go in all the little places. And again, another question, do penguins have orange beaks? Sure, they do now. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take color and color things in, and I'll be back. Hey guys, it is getting hot in here. All right. We're like, do you not have AC? No, I do. I just don't use it that often. I don't know. All right. Let's see here. Again, it's just the humidity. It is not really high in temperature. It's the humidity. It's just like it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. So like I said, this one has, I mean, all the dies to cut things out separately, to do all these different things. I'm just gonna use this guy and this. So I want to see. Okay, Heartfelt Creation. So it used to be that we would make our little aperture because it was kind of hard to tell where you're going to cut. And even this, if you want it to be super perfect, again, an aperture is just taking this and taking like a scrap piece of paper. Well, this one's a little bit too small, but, well, it might work. And just tape it down like this, run it through your machine. It's going to cut out just this white paper. And then what you do is you flip it open and you look through it, this paper, at, you know, where you want it to be placed, where you want it to cut. And then you flop it back down. Tape it down real well. When you run it through again, you're going to cut it perfectly. But this is actually pretty easy to see through, so I think I'm going to just do that. And since everything's on this one piece, even though we can cut this in the marquee, I'm going to just leave it in one big chunk like this. I'm going to run it through my tangerine. And I'm probably going to use our glitter pens from that same Mega Marker kit and put some glitter on there. Ooh, maybe even the lights in here. Now let's see how this guy's going to... Yeah, same thing. I can see through it pretty well. So, alright, again, I'll just put some best ever craft tape on that, and I'll also tape these little guys down and run it through, and I'll be right back. I gotta show you this. And I was just thinking, I didn't even use any of the papers from the paper pack yet, and I'm probably not going to on this one because we made our own background, but there are plenty of really sweet background papers in there, and just a lot of cuteness. But anyway, look at that. Oh, I love it. I love that I can see through it really easily. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect because I'm not making an aperture, but it's gonna be pretty darn close. All I can say is I'll be right back. And I got super tongue-tied and I don't even know what came out. So I will be right back. Alright, let's see. I was gonna say, I think they're in pair and pair. I don't think they're stuck together yet. Oh my gosh, look at how perfect. And I did not... Oh, I love that. I was gonna say, I think her dyes, especially well now, because of this beautiful pink color. And look at... so cute. Is that the edge is right, the cutting edge is right on the edge of the die. I don't know how, let me see if we can. So as you see through it, and you can see pretty good what you're going to cut, or pretty well, I should say. Look at, oh my gosh, you guys. Heartfelt. I guess it has been a while since I bought something from them, because I have like all their old school stuff and then their paper packs and stuff, but it's because you can see right through, and the cutting edge is right on the edge of the die instead of having like an extra lip, you know, like when we do, which is nice when you do embossing, like you get that really pretty ridge or whatever, but hers is right on the edge, so you don't have to do any of that stuff anymore. Wow. Well, I am impressed, and actually that makes me feel a little, I bought the other kits and I'm a little bit apprehensive because I'm like, I don't know, because they're like little flowers, and then you put them in this flower mold thing, which is very interesting because yes, I've seen how she uses them. You just shove it through your Big Shot or one of those kind of machines. So you need to have a machine that does have that wider opening for like steel roll dies. Steel roll dies are the old school dies, you guys, that used to have the foam and like wood or plastic, and they were like this thick, and they were like the first ones that Sizzix came out with many years ago. Like basically what they would use at schools when they make all those cute, you know, I would say billboards, but anyway, the little boards they would make for us, right, and all that cute stuff. And they would have these big steel roll wood dies, which I was always jealous of when I was a kid. I'd see them, I'm like, oh, those are so cool. So maybe that's where this all started for me, but because I would always help like in the office and stuff, even as a little kid. But anyway, so you have to have a machine that does that kind of thing. But after you make your little die cuts, you place them in there, you put that mold through it, basically embosses onto your flowers and shapes them all at once instead of us, you know, kind of making the shapes. It's not inexpensive, but I think if it works and it works well, then it's probably worth it, because otherwise you're sitting there doing all the things, which is fine. It's just something different, right? So I'll definitely review those when they come in. Look at this. You saw me, I didn't aperture it, and look how perfect that is. I am blown away. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna cut this last one. Okay guys, I have all my pieces. I just grabbed, this is some cheap paper from Hobby Lobby, and I don't know if it's cheap, but it's just a basic paper. I have it. I'm going to use it. It's not my favorite. I would have preferred to have the heavyweight, but since I have this, I'm going to use it. So this is just a piece of paper to an A2 size card, so 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then I cut a piece of this bright blue paper. This is more of the heavyweight paper from Hobby Lobby. I think this one's, I don't know if they call it Rainbow Pack or Brights Pack. Brights? I think that's what they call it. It's cut like at 4 1/8 by 5.5 or so. Oh. And then that first piece was cut at 4 by 5 1/4, so hopefully I can get this matted on here nicely. And you know what, I didn't flick the back of this really well, but you know what, there's already all kinds of stuff on my floor. I'll just flick it. And we'll stick this guy down. And then, you know, we have sentiments. I am just blown away by the way that we can just kind of look through it. And there are some companies that are doing that too, so it's not like, oh wow, but I've always wondered, like, why don't they just not use that inside edge, right? But it works for this, so that's great. But also sometimes we like to have that inside edge to have that pretty look of it, right? I'm not going to move this with my hand because of the glitter for now, but look at that. Okay, so I had mentioned, if you ever watch Heartfelt Creations video, Emma Lou, the creator, she's so funny. She just she'll bend things into shape and just let's just put glue here and maybe some dimensional up here. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do something fun. So I was gonna put this right in the center, but again, oh, you know what? I didn't color her candle, but that's okay because I'm going to use some glitter pens. And I'm gonna grab like an orangey metallic one. Oh, I'm making Miranda toast. So I just want to get this going, make sure it's good. And I'm just going to color that in. And what I'm going to do is the same thing while I go fix up Miranda's toast, is go in here with all the glittery pens and just add some shine to these things, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Almost done. So we have our card base here. Again, I was going to do some funky stuff with this. I think I'm going to put my lights on first. And then we'll go from there. And yeah, so she uses a special glue, and I forget what she calls it, but it just like squeezes it all over the place, and I guess obviously it dries clear, so you don't have to be super careful with it. I'm putting this on here flat. I'm not gluing it down quite yet, but very interesting. I like the way she works. And that's what I was wondering, if it has to do with being on the expo circuit, because when you're at Scrapbook Expo, they'll whip something together in 2 seconds. You know, they just show you, and then you're like, oh wow, I should buy that. And you get home and you're like, what happened? what am I supposed to do with this? You totally forget. So it's always nice to take video if you can, or whatever. But yeah, I'm just gonna place that on there, maybe a little higher up. Cute. Actually, yes, you can give it a curve even. However you want to put them on there, because you can manipulate it. It's just paper. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to pop it up on the back, kind of like what she does. I don't want to use... So now I'm hoarding my little dots like this, the smaller ones, because those are what I need for my little Dancing Elves, Dancing Santa stuff from Spellbinders. Don't want to put this right in the middle. I guess we already had colored our little guys, we might as well use them. So I'm just going to put that. I would put more though if I'm going to send this off, which I probably will, but maybe I'll just shove them back there later. So you see, so now we have some dimension just because it's stuck down here, but it's up over here. And she'll do stuff like this all the time in her crafts or her creations, and it makes sense because whenever you see the samples in her expo booth, I'm like, what? There's a lot of dimensions, there's a lot going on. This is not even close to what she normally would do with something like this. But it's just super cute. These guys, let's say I'm gonna put glue on this one and I'm gonna put a dimensional on the other guy. Stuff like that. So I'm just taking a page from her book, and actually this came off with the carrier. So let's say that one's stuck down, but this guy's, and you're gonna have to hold that one down, obviously. So I'm gonna hold it down, let them stay. I'll do the same kind of thing with these guys. Glue this one down, and maybe we'll just glue them both down. So we just have the dimension on him. I'll glue these guys down, and I'll be right back. You know what? I went to glue it down. I kind of like the way she looks kind of off the page. So what I'm gonna do is make myself a little brace to help with that. Now you can use a dimensional, but dimensional is going to be much more dimensional than what I'm thinking. So I already have glue on the back of her, so I'm going to put glue on that one side. I'm going to put it under her. So that it helps pop her up and it doesn't look awkward. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay, let me see about the sentiments in this set. I'll be right back. It's a little scary because I have these sentiments, you know. Are there some in the other? So I think I'll just go with, we'll take it from this piece. Season's Greetings? Something kind of thin, maybe? I don't know where I'm going to put it. That's my question here. Oh, I have my stamp block still out from earlier, the acrylic block that came from the Mega Marker set. Oh, I love it. Just stamps so crisp because, again, red rubber stamp and VersaFine ink. Great match. Okay, I'm going to see if I have a die to cut this, or I might just cut it out straight like I always do. But I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I just pulled out this die set from Tonic Stamp Club. I picked this set up. It just is basically labels like for your sentiments, which is really cool. I think I'm going to use this one because I was kind of looking at this one's too small. That one, yeah, actually that might be nice too. I don't know. I wanted to have 2 layers, you know, and I'm kind of looking at this now. Maybe I don't have enough room on the edge. Not that that should dictate, because what you do is stamp it again. But you know me, I'm like, no, we'll just continue with this. Let me see. You know what? Yeah, let's do that, because that'll give me 2 layers. So I'm going to cut this out with the white, just like that, tape it down. And then I'm going to cut out maybe, I'll say green paper, something else to bring out more of the color that's in here. Maybe just black. Nah, maybe blue. I don't know. I'll cut this out in a different color. I'll be right back. Here. So we have this guy and this guy. Oh, I do like that. That has 4 layers even of layers. That specific little set there. Let's see what we got. So cute. Alright, we got that there. And again, this is kind of where I was like, I don't want to cover up things because that's too much. We can put it up here. We can tuck it in. Oh, you know what? I don't normally do things like that. Just kind of tuck it in somewhere in the back. You know, because of that, I feel like it has to be the same, but it can't be. Maybe something like this. Maybe here. Cute. I'm just going to put it flat. And you know what's funny about that is that I came back and did a little more glittering here just in case, right? But, oopsie. I wanted to stand it up to see what it looks like. Yeah, that's good. Actually, it pokes out there anyway, so that's good. Alright, guys. Oh, you know, I could have put it on this side and covered up my little, whatever that dark blue spot is, but you all know I'm not that particular. Alright, there it is. Thanks for watching. Again, the paper pack, I can actually just pause and do that. It actually comes with papers that the dies themselves can cut for you. Look at this. I mean, you guys, this background with that little house we just did, or oh my gosh, so cute. I'm in my own background because it's Freeform Friday, but let's look at this real quick. I think I opened the other pack. This is the second pack, and I actually ordered a 3rd pack, so I have 3 of these. You know, already set up. Just get your die and pop it on there. All these things have dies coordinating that you can cut out with, so, or you can cut them out with, I guess is the words I'm looking for. Super cute. Anyway, alright guys, thanks for watching. Of course, as I'm packing up, I just want to show you. I was putting this away and I'm like, well, this feels kind of thick. On the inside, it does give you information if you want to read about how to cut this and basically all the machines that are out there, like the bigger machines. So, pretty cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all at the next one. Bye now.